Is Web3 better than Web2? When I hear Web3, the image that comes to mind is just numbers, coding.
The NFT market is actually still very active. Like actually Nike, they bought a company named Artifacts. They are selling digital Nike shoes. MapleStory just came out with Web3 version. Your equipment, your items in game is all NFT.
How do you feel about Go, Chuan?
For Go, I'm always not a big fan of, but
Welcome back to the DXpert podcast, where we break down financial trends, emerging tech, and market shifts that shape the world we live in today. I'm Janu, and joining me today are two great minds from different corners of the market. We've got June, our in-house analyst, and special guest Chuan, who specializes in Web3 and blockchain. In this episode, we'll start by unpacking what Web3 really is, why it matters, and how it could change the way we interact with the internet today. From there, we'll dive into Chuan's crypto ventures and finish with a look at what's happening at the US stock market right now. Let's get into it. So guys, for many, Web3 is still a vague or intimidating term. It promises to shift the internet from centralized platforms to decentralized ecosystems. But the reality is still evolving, right? So let me try breaking it down a little bit. If I'm not mistaken, Web 1 was the early phase of the internet where there was static websites, and Web 2 brought us different platforms, social media, e-commerce, but with one trade-off. We gave up our ownership of our data to centralized companies. And now, Web3 promises a decentralized internet where users own their data and applications run on blockchains instead of centralized servers. But is this the future or just another tech buzzword? Let's find out. So let's start simple. Chuan, there's a lot of noise around Web3. But if we strip it back, what is Web3 actually about? And more importantly, what's the real difference between Web2 and Web3? From a user's point of view or a trader's point of view?
So I think I'll start with user point of view first. For Web 2, I think most people will know is social media like X, Facebook, YouTube, where we gave up our ownership of our personal data, and they can use our data to do those big data research and earning profits from it. But in Web 3, we actually own our own personal data, can be anonymous at the same time, and also can gain profit if someone trying to buy our assets. Let's make some example. Today I posted a video on YouTube. YouTube will gain profit from it, but he will try to split a little bit of it to us. But in Web3, let's say your artwork, you make it into an NFT and you sell it online, it's on chain, you will get the full profit of it. Yes. So this is how the NFT come out, I think during 2021. That was the era for NFT.
Yeah.
But because it is moving too fast, so a lot of bubbles build up. So it actually went down a bit for now.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
But the NFT market is actually still very active, but most is, I think, the blockchain people, or what we call that people that active on crypto will only know about it.
True,
Yeah.
that's true. Yeah, I remember back then in 2021 when NFT was a hype, where the ape, what ape was it? That was
Yeah,
a
the
name.
Bored Ape.
Bored Ape, right? Yeah,
Yes.
it was so famous. A lot of famous people was buying it, and then slowly the hype just died down.
Because for NFT, actually, most people think it's just a
picture.
electrical
Mm.
thing, but actually it's more like a proof that you are the members of the projects. Like today, if we in traditional perspective, you own a shares from a big company, every year you will have some benefits, right?
Yeah.
Like instead of the interest, they will send you some gift. Yes. Like in Web3, if you own something like a Bored Ape, when something that we call as airdrop or pre-sale is going on, you will be the first one that can join and you can gain profit from it. So
Kinda like
that's
your-
the main reason why NFT exists instead of just selling profile pictures online.
It's like a membership in a
It's
way.
like a club
Yeah.
membership.
Yeah.
So like if you are a club membership in the real world, you get to go to probably a golf club, or you get to swim, or you get to use their facilities.
Feels very exclusive.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
But actually Web3 for now is trying to combine with our real life. Like actually Nike, they bought a company named Artifacts. So they are selling digital Nike shoes. Let's say avatar to wear
Wear
it.
them. Wow.
Yes. Instead of just having the digital version, they actually in real life also have a limited version of your shoes.
Do you own
Which-
both?
Yes.
Oh.
Which the shoes, how it looks like on chain, you will have it in real life and it's one and only.
Limited edition.
Yes.
Wow.
And always you can get great discount from Nike since you are the members of what I think their name now is Swoosh, the logo of it.
I'm curious if you sell that shoe in real life or you sell it on
of
chain.
course you
Do you-
can sell separately in real life, but
Marketing.
I think most people will try to buy it from you with the digital one.
True.
Yeah, because just getting the physical one,
It's just
it
another
doesn't
shoe.
mean another thing.
Yeah. What do you think is the pros and cons of Web2 and Web3? Before that, let me ask you both. Do you think is Web3 better than Web2?
For now, I think for user friendly, I think from the UX perspective, is Web2 having a big advantages because Web3 is totally non-user friendly for now. The whole interface is still very clunky. Speaking about protection of your own personal data, definitely would be Web3. And also if you're trying to gain some profit through Web2 or Web3, it's definitely Web3 again.
What about you, Jun?
As what Chuan has said, Web3 is still in its infancy. Okay, I grew up in a time where when I first started my venture, it was during Web2's hype era. So at the time, there was a lot of new startups that are making software and app and SaaS companies. So at the time, that was at the time. Because it was so new, we are in a stage where we are transitioning from the first, as in Web 1, where, you know, information goes one way, you ask, and then the servers will give you another answer, into one where we actually communicate with one and another. I grew up during that stage. But at the time, even a very simple web page, if you were to just to start that page, it's going to take a very long time. It's going to take some time as compared to now, because right now, if you go into AWS, you just press a button and then the website is started. Then back then, it's very similar to how Web3 is right now. If you want to transfer something, if you want to do anything, it's very troublesome. Yeah, basically. So back then, Web2 was like this as well. Just to start a website, I need to code. I don't have a button to press, and I need to tell the computer everything that I need to do. So right now, it's pretty much like that. Not easy to use, but I think over time, things will get better.
To hear how you saw, like you experienced Web 1 to Web 2, and then now we have AI, you know, it's just so interesting because you needed 1 hour just to prompt your computer, to code your computer to reach a website that you wanted. And now, if we want just a simple information, we type it into ChatGPT and we get so much. Like, innovation blows my mind, okay? But okay, let me also ask you this question. Because you were there in the Web 1 era, were people skeptical about Web 2?
As always, no matter what you do, even in real life, when you say skepticism, I think a lot of it has to do with security. You get hacked, your website get hacked, or your bank wallet get hacked. The same thing is happening to Web3 as well. And even in real life, even a physical bank gets robbed. In the real life we call it robbed. In the internet we call it hack. So it's the same thing. No matter where you go, if there's a loophole, then that's where you are vulnerable. So saying if I'm skepticism, in the end of the day, as in if the trust is there and if the support is there, the community is there, we will try to develop it, because the pros is, as in the long run, you have more benefits to cover up all this skepticism.
So it's worth the
it's worth the effort for this innovation to happen.
True.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, Chuan. So you've been in this Web3 space for some time now. And I think you've mentioned pretty clearly that it's still pretty much in the early experimental stage. So if you were to put a percentage on it, what percentage would you say we're in right now for Web3, the progress?
I think mostly 25%.
25%?